Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am Kathy, this is Duality Unfolding. So this week I wanted to offer you another pick a card reading. So I'll give you the options to pick which group you want to watch the reading for. As always, you're welcome to watch every single group, whatever feels right for you. These are general readings, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But with the Aries new moon solar eclipse coming up, solar eclipses are a time, and new moons are a time where things are dark, and it gives us the opportunity to kind of go inward. Makes me think of the caterpillar going inside the cocoon, except for it's not as long of a process. Then again, eclipses can affect us for the next 6 months. So with this Aries solar eclipse, because it's a new moon, like having the opportunity to kind of go inward and really kind of figure out what is it that not only we want for ourselves, but also like what is it that I need. And so I think with things being really chaotic, both like sociopolitically, economically, in general, I feel like it's a hard time to be a human being, whatever circumstance you're living in, wherever you live at. But also energetically, there's a lot of things changing, in human consciousness and on the planet. So I wanted to offer a reading that was kind of more nourishing, I guess, like in an energetic, emotional way. I don't feel like there's a whole lot that I can do, in this current state of the world, except for offer, a little bit of energetic comfort by channeling messages, through tarot cards from the universe. So my goal in this is that I'm hoping that this provides you some kind of comfort, almost like a really, almost like a really gentle, like energetic hug, or like even like a really like nice pleasant nap, like those naps where you like drift off to sleep and then you like drift back awake. It's not like there's not an alarm, there's no chaotic thing that happens. It's just very like gentle, nourishing. I feel like it might just be me. Just see me. I had a chaotic week and like I hurt my back. I don't know what I did. So I feel like I could definitely use some nourishment. Hopefully I'm not the only one, and I hope that you enjoy this reading. So the questions that I'll be pulling cards around are going to be, it'll be nourishment, renewal, and dream. And so for the nourishment portion, the question I'm going to ask the tarot decks is, what in you needs to be nourished, and how are you depleted? So like what maybe area of your life needs some extra like tenderness and like nourishment, and then what area are you depleted in? And I'm asking those questions in the hopes that like you'll be able to see something that like triggers you to do that little extra self-care, or that kind of helps you feel seen, or even encourages you for the areas that you're feeling depleted to kind of put up those like self-protective boundaries, and maybe let people know that like I can't do that right now, or I need to take some time off, or like, no, I won't be doing that again next season. The renewal portion, I'm going to ask the tarot what parts of you want or need to be renewed. So this is spring, right? Aries is the kind of invocation of the spring season in the northern hemisphere. Plants are blooming, and so I think that kind of encourages us as human beings to come out of our, hibernation spell, like out of our own little caves, if you want to. I'm an introvert, so I get it. If you don't, like, I have a very small threshold for peopling each week, so I get it if you want to stay in your cave. But we're gonna ask what parts of you want or need to be renewed, because renewal isn't necessarily, it doesn't have to be going out in the world, right? We can renew our own space and our own internal world. And so the last question I'll be asking the tarot is for the dream section, which is what new dream wants to be birthed, and then what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized. So again, with like the theme of spring and like plants growing, I think all of us, we need to have something to look forward to. Like some people it's purpose, right? So we can have a purpose focused dream. And some people it's kind of this imagination, even like a little bit of like fantasy, right? Like developing this dream life. So asking those questions like what new dreams want to be birthed, and then what existing dream wants to be or needs to be watered or fertilized. So there will be there'll be 3 groups you can choose from. Each group has 2 decks associated with it. So the first group, I'm going to use the Star Spinner Tarot and the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. So this is group number 1. If you're familiar with those, or just if the art, like if you like the way it looks. Group 2 will be the Light Seers Tarot and this Desert Illuminations Tarot. It's maybe like a little color scheme, color theme going on. Group 3 is going to be the Tarot of the Divine. I always say the name wrong. And then the Santa Muerte Tarot. So this is group number 3. So take as much time as you need to pick a deck. In the meantime, I'm gonna get myself sorted out. Each tarot grouping that I use for the actual questions will be supported by all of these oracle decks. So for the nourishment section, I'll be pulling a card or cards from the Power of Surrender and the Wild Offering deck. And then for the renewal portion, I'll be pulling cards from the Soul's Journey and the Power of Love. These are both by the same creator, James Van Praagh. He's a psychic. And then the third group of questions, the dream section, I'll be pulling cards from the Super Attractor Oracle and the Absolute Affirmations Oracle. So again, just group number 1, group number 2, and oh, this is heavy. And group number 3. Okay, I will see you guys in the reading. Hello, group number 1. So you chose the Star Spinner Tarot and the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. So let's get into your reading. So, like I said in the intro, like we're going to be pulling cards around 3 different kind of areas of your life where extra nourishing might need to happen or might be welcome to happen. So those will be nourishment, renewal, and dreams. So we'll pull cards. Let me pull some tarot cards for this first group. First question. So the first question we have is, what in you needs to be nourished? So let's see. Okay. I'm going to pull another card, and I'm kind of just doing like a free pull reading, like no set number of cards. Probably pull a couple more cards just to kind of get clarification on things if needed. So this next poll is for, how are you depleted? Oh, I think we got 2. Okay. Oh. I feel like they just kind of start jumping out after a little while. Okay. So, okay, for that first question, what in you needs to be nourished? And so the card that I pulled for that question was the 9 of Wands. And so we look at this little guy. To me, this feels like being overworked and taken advantage of, right? Because like when we look at him, he's a little court jester, you know. He's someone that wants to bring joy to people. He's someone that you know, jesters like to make people laugh. Like this very much has like a Fool energy to it, the Fool card, where it's like carefree and fun and just like enjoying itself. Except for with this 9 of Wands, there's, you know, a lot going on, and now there's a need to protect themselves, right? So like what in you needs to be nourished, like this part of you that's doing all this work, that's supporting all of these people. And so the card that came up was the Knight of Wands. And so Knights are about action. Wands is one of the fastest moving suits of cards, because this is reversed. Like what that tells me in combination with this Nine of Wands is that, you know, you've been doing too much, and I think you know that you're doing too much, and it's really time to slow down. The part of you that feels like it has to do all the things in a hurry, that part of you really needs to be nourished. Like the part of you that maybe like volunteers to do all the things, like okay, this is the helper part of you. Like this, the energy of this sweet, like this is such a sweet energy. Like I want to help. Like, I want to be of service. Like, is there anything I can do to help you out? Can I pick this up? Can I drive you here? Can I pick up the kids? Can I do this? Do you need this done? How can I help you? Like that part of you, which is such a beautiful part. Like that part needs some rest. And I think it needs tending to, because, you know, when we are, like when we're giving so much of ourselves, like unfortunately, if that's like really who we are, right? If that's like the essence of who we are, sometimes people can take that for granted because they lose sight of the fact that like this givingness comes from your heart. It's almost like a love language, right? Like acts of service. But they don't see that it comes from the heart. They see it as a resource, you know, almost like the way that people that don't appreciate money, you know, they're just like, give me more so I can waste it and blow it and, you know, just kind of piss off with it. For me, like this really sweet energy, like that, okay. That disappointment that we're seeing here is I give so much because I just want to be loved and appreciated for what I'm doing. And so what I'm going to tell you is that there's nothing that you need to do to earn love. You don't have to like volunteer. You don't have to be the first one to take care of things. You don't have to carry all the weight, carry all the swords, carry all the wands. That you don't have to do those things to earn love. Like you just deserve love for being you. And so I'm going to pull another card. And I feel like it's like, I don't know how to verbalize it, but I know what I'm trying to ask. And it's very much about like, it's about love, but not in the sense of romantic love, or it's not like what else do you need to do to like earn love. It's I don't know how to explain it, but I'm hoping that these cards will make sense. Okay, I love it. Okay, so I pulled the Star, Knight of Swords, and Six of Cups. So the Star is you. And so what the Star embodies is this ability to shine just by existing. And the thing that's coming up in this energy, well, it's really this energy, people see that you're this, but you don't see that. What you see about yourself is you have to do all the things to earn love. And because people see that this is you, a lot of people don't have this. A lot of people don't know how to let like their authentic like heart shine. And this energy can be really triggering for people, and that doesn't have anything to do with you. Like that has nothing to do with you. There's nothing you need to change. Well, I mean, if I could offer one thing that me and the universe would like to invite you to change is to realize that this is who you are, and to allow yourself to be that, you know, that's a big ask, right? To go from this mindset that you have to do all the things to earn love and exchange it for I'm a divine portion of bright, shiny starlight, and all I have to do is just be myself, and love will always come to me. That's I get it. It's a big ask. It's a big ask, right? It's a big ask. But this is who you are. And so this part of you that's being covered up by the doer that believes it has to do all the things, this is the part of you that really needs to be nourished. So how do you get from doing all the things to earn love to just receiving love? So we've got the Knight of Swords here, and I like that we got 2 Knight cards, because it's almost like we're exchanging, right? And so like this Knight of Wands, he's very much in action, right? He's got a staff, he's got a wand, he's like up on his hind legs, he's getting ready to take off and go. And then here we've got this Knight of Swords, which is, it's also, knights are a card of movement. So he's moving, but he's just going at his own pace. Also, he's got some cloth on, and this knight's got a little bit more armor on, right? They both have their faces covered, but like as far as, to me, what's coming through is boundaries. That like you need to protect your energy because you understand how valuable you are, instead of protecting yourself after you've been taken advantage of, right? Which is this little guy, and he's a lot more like dejected and disappointed than really actively protecting himself, with this knight. Or I feel like these pieces are part of maybe some other armor, right, that will go on him. He's already got like part of this on that's protecting him here, which we could almost say is a little bit over his throat and his heart chakra. And in addition to to working on those boundaries to protect yourself, because, and I understand boundaries are hard, because if all the people around you expect that you're always giving all the things and you're always jumping at every task to do all the things, it's a big change to move into this kind of boundaried energy, when you shine so brightly that everybody can see all the things you have to offer. And unfortunately, it's become this expectation that you'll just give them because you've always given them. Like, why wouldn't you give them? And well, I mean, you wouldn't give them anymore because now you understand your inherent value. You understand that, like, that you have autonomy and ownership of yourself. Like, even if you just looked at yourself as a resource, which is what a lot of people look at you as, someone that's like, because we can look at all of these wands as little energy and actions, right? Like, I don't know, you always make the plans and you pick the food and you drive and you help the kids with their homework and you are the first on every project and you're the lead for this, and like all these things, like all those wands are things that you're doing. Wands are action. So these are all the things that you're doing. There's only this one, and it's a bigger one that's dedicated to protecting yourself. And so like people are used to you doing more giving, and you can still give, like that's who you are. But when we look at this star card, she's pouring out like very intentionally the way that she's holding this vase. Like she's very carefully pouring out just what she wants to have come out. She's got this cradled in her arms, right? And so that's your energy, that's your essence, that's your life force, being very, very intentional with how you share that energy, making sure you have those boundaries starting to work on those boundaries, right? Boundaries are not like an overnight thing. You know, if you are not comfortable or you're not used to being a boundaried person, no can be the hardest thing that you've ever had to say. And like I think boundaries have become something that's so needed, but also like it's becoming so not commonplace, because I feel like that doesn't give it the kind of energetic importance that it deserves. It's become such a frequent topic in conversations about relationship that, like, whatever this is for you, if it's family, if it's romantic, if it's work, if it's something else, like you can easily Google how to put up boundaries with coworkers, how to put up boundaries at church. Like I many years ago when I used to go to church before I had my spiritual awakening, not to say that you can't be a religious person and be spiritually aware, because you can, but that just, that it wasn't, religion wasn't what did it for me. It's not where I stayed. But when I did go to church, like there's this really big expectation that you'll volunteer for all the things. It almost becomes like a job. Like, well, you're going to sign up for, you're going to do communion, or you're going to bring a dish, or you're going to do this, or you're going to be here for the cleanup. And it was like, I got a whole job. Like, and I'm here on Sunday. Like, no. But this can be friendships, this can be family, this can be any number of things. And so you can easily Google, like boundaries in whatever, in relationship, in friendship, all these things. And so the other card I haven't even talked about that came up was the Six of Cups. And so Six of Cups is very much a card of reciprocity and nostalgia. I feel like it's a very balanced, loving card. Cups is about love, but we see these two little unicorns. I feel like this one kind of is a little bit more reminiscent of like nostalgia, because we've got a bigger unicorn, a smaller unicorn, which kind of can signify like a parent-child relationship, but it doesn't have to. But we have these two unicorns that have come together, and they're both leaning into the same cup, right? Maybe they're like nibbling on the same thing, or maybe they were planting this together. But that ties into, this star card as well, because, learning to accept what your value is, putting up the boundaries with people that take advantage of you, but also understanding that like when people really, are deserving of a little bit extra of your energy, it's because they're giving. It's because there's reciprocity, right? It's not just them taking, it's them also giving, and granted, like we all give in different ways. So like reciprocity doesn't have to be like, I pay for a dinner one time and then the next time you pay, which sometimes that works for people. Reciprocity can be that someone knows that you're not feeling well, and so they have a meal delivered to your house from your favorite restaurant. Or, it can be that like they just call you to check on you once a week, or just any number of things. Like to me, like the Six of Cups card is taking you taking you into consideration, right? The you that like does certain things to earn love, the you that does certain things because it's on your heart to do them. And these Six of Cups relationships, these Six of Cups people, like they see this part of you just like they see this part of you, and they want to put that extra love and care into that relationship with you, instead of just taking all the time, instead of just expecting that you'll do all the things. So that was just the first question of for the nourishment section, what needs to be nourished in you? So I also pulled cards for how are you depleted. So two cards came up from the Star Spinner Tarot. So they are the Knight of Coins and the Two of Pentacles. So we have very interesting. Okay, so we we had two other knights that came up in that first question. Now we have this knight. So in the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, you also got the Knight of Coins and the Wheel of Fortune. So because we've got two Knight of Coins, Knight of Pentacles cards here, what I'm feeling like, and so coins represent like money, energy, time, and to me it can even represent like your vitality, your life force, right? So we had this little guy come up, in that first part about like what in you needs to be nourished. And we've got all these knights cards, the knights are action. And then the question for these is, how are you depleted? And to me, it feels like energetically, you're very, very depleted. So this can show up this is how it shows up for me, which is kind of it. This is what triggers me to know that I have to do more self-care, more nourishment, and more boundaries, is that I will have a not great day, and then I will be on my phone, just kind of scrolling or playing games, or just like on Pinterest, like looking at whatever I'm looking at. Like I'm just on my phone, kind of wasting time, and it will go into the hours that I should be sleeping. But the need to have the freedom to just kind of look at whatever I want to look at, like kind of scroll through things, that need is more important than my need to sleep. That's how I know that I'm energetically depleted. That's how I know that I'm getting kind of burnt out. For some other people, it can be that like you get really short with people. You get really you get snippy, you're irritable because you're tired. And whatever those indicators are for you that like you're just exhausted, because this is an imbalance, because this part of you says we have to do all the things to earn love, except for when we do things to earn love, it's not really fulfilling, right? Like we don't really feel loved when we're taken advantage of, right? Because I mean, like acts of service is a love language, and there are people that will, that will reciprocate our love language, or they will reciprocate love when they see us demonstrating a love language. But I think, like that's not happening for you, because we've got this Knight of Wands in reverse. These two Knight of Pentacles cards came up upright, which is why it feels like it's energetic, because you're paying out, you're giving out this energy. This could also be financial too. Like there might be somebody that's like financially taking advantage of you, because you let them, because like you're just too kind. And I don't mean that in a blaming way. I think that you have the best intentions to be kind and to, share what you have, but you're being depleted, so since these two came up, you're being energetically and possibly financially depleted. The other two cards that came up are the Two of Swords, which is really a card about like internal reflection, right? Like facing off with yourself, not necessarily like in kind of an antagonistic way, but really just kind of looking inward, right? Because like even the imagery of the card, like it almost like with the moon there, and then kind of the darkness in the background, like this is very introspective, right? Like going into those internal kind of maybe dark places to kind of get quiet and still and figure out like which way do I want to go, what do I want to do. And the next card that came up was this Wheel of Fortune, and so these cards all came up upright, but I think that you're very aware that you've been giving too much. You're very aware that you're there's too many cards that you're getting tapped out. And so because of that, like this kind of disappointment, sadness is really triggering you to look inward and figure out what needs to change. Because the Wheel of Fortune is things changing and shifting. And I feel like you understanding your value, like you understanding that you have autonomy over your energy. You don't have to share. You don't have to share shit. I'm giving you permission to not share shit if you don't want to. Like you don't have to dump this whole jug out for every single person that asks you. Like, if you have manipulators around you, they will make you feel like you're supposed to. But I'm telling you that like the energy, the life force, like that is yours. You hold it. It is within you. You have autonomy and power over it. So if you choose to share it, great. If you choose not to share it, also great, because it's yours. And so taking that time to go inward is going to trigger this Wheel of Fortune to turn, and I feel like if you're open to it, and especially, we haven't even pulled the Oracle cards yet. This is too many cards. I hope I don't miss anything. If you'll allow it, the universe will give you guidance. But I feel like that's, like it's gonna come up in the Power of Surrender and then the Wild Offering. So yes. So let's pull cards from those decks now. So let me pull. A lot going on. Let me pull some cards from the Power of Surrender deck. So how can you let go of this need to overdo to earn love? Okay. Okay, how can you let go of this kind of inability to see your true value? What am I doing? Okay, we got two. Okay, so what did I ask? How can you release this need to overdo? And so the card that came up was Surrender Obsessive Thinking. So it says, if you're obsessed with a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring clarity, or even, doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. So, it almost feels like, I know it says obsessive thinking, but like when I initially looked at it, I thought it was overthinking. And so it almost feels like this part of you that's doing all the things is overthinking everything that you do, and it's driving you to do more things. So whatever situation like you're really kind of like mentally stuck on, I think trying to almost just like, it feels like you just need to sit with it. Like there's not anything that you need to do. Like you don't need to fix it. You don't need to solve it. Like whatever this situation is, because it doesn't feel like a person, you just need to sit with it and like kind of just let it be. It's almost like, I wonder if you're trying to do so many things to prevent something from happening, but you can't, right? You can't, because the Wheel of Fortune is going to move the way that it moves in order to bring the best, highest good for everyone. Okay. And then 2 cards came out for how do you release this kind of need to do too much to earn love? So these are the 2 cards that came up. So I'll read these to you and then I'll show them again. So surrender the habit of people pleasing, speak your needs, and be true to yourself. Sorry. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. Also, can I just say, like, I don't know if it's me, but like, I love when the message of the cards and the aesthetic matches. This is probably silly, but I just love it. Like it all, like, it's so, maybe maybe the universe talks to me through colors, you know, maybe it's just, I don't know, but I'm here for it. I love it. Okay, let me move my fingers so you can see that. Okay. The next, how did I lose it? The next card, or the other card that came up, was surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. So I feel like nature is going to be something that can really powerfully, if you allow it, can really powerfully show you that you don't have to do anything to earn love and admiration. You don't have to do anything to earn acceptance. You know, like a tree is not like, is it okay if I lose my leaves in the fall, right? Like, nature just exists. Nature just be the way it is. And so I feel like if you have an opportunity to spend time in nature, or even like with animals, or even, I feel like even like bird watching, I don't know if it's just the algorithm in my Instagram, but I feel like people are really all about some birds lately, and I'm here for it. I love a bird. I love them. You know, so just kind of taking that time to be out in nature, or even like looking out the window, like admiring nature if you don't have the time to go out and like hike, or if you're just not an outdoorsy person. I feel like that the ability to just kind of appreciate and see the way that nature exists, I think can be really helpful in allowing you to ease into just accepting that you can be and earn love. So I'm going to pull, I'm going to pull some cards from this Wild Offering deck. Okay, so any guidance around what needs to be nourished? And then depletion. Okay. Okay, so we got 2 cards for messages for nourishment. So they are these 2. And again, I'll read these to you and then show them to you. So the first card that came up is work, which really, you know, all the doing. I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on the planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source for all prosperity and will provide. I feel like that very much resonates with these, you know, with this these 2 Knight of Pentacles cards, you know, that like, as long as I'm living authentically, you know, I can provide a service, I can help, and I'll be nourished, I'll be taken care of. Excuse me. The next card that came up was confidence. So the way that you work, you know, needs some nurturing so that you can provide your gifts to the world, but also, you know, your confidence needs some nurturing. And I feel like that I got too many cards, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a hot mess. That very much aligns with this little guy. That's our little buddy. So the message is divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence, O love. Grant me courage I never knew I had. So the star card is confident. The star card knows that they are inherently deserving of love. They know that they don't have to earn things. And I feel like that's very much this message. Okay, and then the card I pulled for how are you depleted, or how can, you know, what can help with the depletion, was the ambition card. And so this card says, may I offer all my deepest longings to love itself and invite a divine plan beyond the mind's imagining. Please use me for the highest good. I feel like that's very much these two. This is the Wheel of Fortune is the divine plan. You know, and the star card is seeing your worth and allowing the universe to use you for the highest good. Okay, so that was just the first part, y'all. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Uh-oh. Okay, let me put these back in here. And we'll move on to the next part, which is nourishment. Okay. So, nope, the next part is not nourishment. We just did nourishment. The next part is renewal. So, let me shuffle these. Okay. All right. What part or parts of you want or need to be renewed? Okay, got 3. Okay, what part or parts of you want or need to be renewed? That jumped right out. That was fun. Okay, I feel like there's one more. There's one more. No? Anybody? Okay. Okay, so we've got what part or parts of you want to be renewed? Okay, interesting. Okay, so we've got the King of Swords, 7 of Coins, an 8 of Coins, an 8 of Coins, and King of Pentacles in reversed. Okay. There's also another card that came up last time, which is the 6 of Cups. Okay, so what I'm seeing is the parts of you that want or need to be renewed. One part is your autonomy. Because this King of Swords upright, this King of Pentacles in reverse, Yeah. And so king energy is, kings are very much just like the emperor card. The emperor card is about autonomy, leadership, really grounded in their sense of self. And I feel like because you got the king of swords, which is the king of air, the king of mind, communication, upright, and then you got the king of pentacles, which is the king of earth, the king of time, energy, money, in reverse. There's this imbalance, right? That there's this part of you that knows that you're the king of your own existence. I feel like that's like a weird way to say it, but like this part of you, like mentally, you know that you should have more power over your life. But with this King of Pentacles in reverse, the way that you're showing up in the world, it's completely opposite this. And again, like with this kind of dark color and this like imagery of this crow facing away from like the audience, away from us, I feel like this is very much like this energy is very turned inward. Like, so in your, like in the essence of who you are, you know that you should have more autonomy and more power over your life. And so this, you know, this King of Pentacles in reverse is it's that Nine of Wands card, right, that we pulled earlier, the depleted part of you, like the part of you that needs to be nourished, the part that's like doing too much outwardly. So this eclipse, which is on the 20th, I don't think I said that at all yet. It's on the 20th of April. Is really inviting you to kind of walk through a new doorway, a new portal, because eclipses are portals, like energetic portals. It's inviting you to walk through a new kind of energetic doorway to turn this upright, and to have autonomy over both parts of your world, like your inner self and your outer self, right? Because inner self knows, like, I don't have to do this shit. Why am I doing this shit? Like, why can't I stop? Like, people are expecting things and I don't like it. You know, unfortunately, like with, you know, the messages that came up before, like there is a change that's shifting. And so like the part of you that, that wants to be renewed is this powerful part of you, which I think is so beautiful and awesome and perfectly divinely timed, because you know, the sign of Aries, which is the season, you know, that we're in, which is the sign that's ruling the eclipse, is correlated to the Emperor card, which is the King energy. So it's like all signs point to go as far as being the king of your time, energy, money, essence, all parts of your life, which is awesome. I love it. So the other parts of you that want to be renewed, tie to, I feel like it ties to this work card that we pulled before, because we've got this, you know, this Seven of Wands is very patient, right? Yes. Okay. Sorry. No, Seven of Coins. I was going to say, why did I say wands? I knew it was all coins. This Seven of Coins card is very patient. So in the traditional tarot, like the person essentially is just waiting next to like a bush. So like they're waiting for like plant to grow from this bush, or maybe flowers to bloom, you know, just like she's kind of sitting and waiting. It's a card of patience. It's a card of kind of inactivity. It's like I did some things, but now I'm waiting for the result to happen. And so these two Eight of Coins, these are very active cards, right? So we have this guy, he's literally like handling, looking at the money. And then this little guy is making the money. He's like making the coins. So to move from this Seven of Coins energy of just kind of passively like, well, you know, I invested some money and I'm just waiting for, you know, my return on investment, but it's going to take a couple months. So I'll just wait for the money to come in. You know, this Eight of Coins energy is like, no, I'm going to go out there and get it. I'm going to get it. You know, I'm a king. You know, with that Wheel of Fortune, we're flipping this King of Pentacles upright instead of upside down. So like I have the power, the capacity, the ability to make the things that I want happen. You know, and this could be making more money. This could be making a career move. This could be having a conversation with someone about like, hi, like I'm not really here to be giving all my time, energy, and money away. I know that's what I did in the past, but I'm making a change. Some things are changing. You know, I'm going to focus on myself and I'm going to focus on, excuse me, I'm going to focus on the things that I want to put time and energy into. And then I feel like this Six of Cups came up just like it did last time to just kind of remind us, or to really to remind you that, you know, you don't have to give everything to the outside world. Is there fairness? Is there balance in where you're giving? When you're putting your time, energy, and money into things, make sure that there's a benefit for you, right? So that you're not just giving everything away or doing everything for everyone else. So I feel like that was a lot more succinct than the first part. So I'm going to pull cards from two decks for you. So we'll pull cards from this Soul's Journey Oracle first. Okay, so what parts of you need to be or want to be renewed? Oh, that's too many. We don't want like 5. Okay. Move this out of the way. Okay. What parts of you want or need to be renewed? Okay, great. So we got 2 from each deck. So we got acceptance and patience. Let's see if I can hold these up for you. Okay, with this acceptance card, says I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. And I feel like there's a big difference between accepting the things that you can't change and allowing for things to happen that you don't like, right? So like we can accept that there is a dissonance between the inner world and the outer world, right? We can accept that. We can say, you know what? I am aware and I fully accept that there is an internal imbalance in me. I don't feel like that means that you have to accept that the way that your life is now is imbalanced and that there's not reciprocity. That's just me. That's just me. And so with this patience card, I accept that everything is happening in divine order. And so we talked about like the 7 of coins being a card of patience, right? But also having these 2 8 of Pentacles cards come up, there is a divine order to things, right? That like you were in this patient energy and that you're waiting, and now it's time to take action. Now it's time for you to get out there and make the things happen that you want to have happen. Okay, and so we pulled 2 Power of Love cards, and they are satisfaction and compassion. So satisfaction, you let the energy of love guide you to self-approval so that others no longer define who you are, which I feel like perfectly lines up with that Star card. And then compassion, you demonstrate the language of the heart by actively sharing and living love. And so living love is not only about giving love, but also about receiving love, which I feel like this is this little guy keeps popping up. Okay. So now let's get myself sorted out and pull, kind of stick these in here, pull some cards about the dream portion. So what new dream wants to be birthed? Okay. And then what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? Okay. Very interesting. Okay. What new dream wants to be birthed? Let's see. And what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? Okay. So, what new dream wants to be birthed? The first, okay. Sorry. The cards that came up were the Hermit, the King of Cups, and the Eight of Wands reversed. And so what this says to me, you've been alone for a while, you know, kind of solitary by yourself, and this King of Cups coming in, this is love, this is relationships. So it might not be romantic relationships, but to me this is very, like, this is healthy, balanced, reciprocal relationships, like the Six of Cups that kept coming up. And so this Eight of Wands card for me is saying that you've been by yourself for so long. There's a lot of hesitance to take any action. The Eight of Wands upright is a card of like really fast movement. Like this is things happening really, really fast because it's in reverse. Like the energy that came up to me was that like there's some apprehension. There's some like, do I want healthier relationships? Do I want love? Yes. Am I ready to move out of being kind of this solitary hermit? Not exactly. It's like I want it, but I'm not ready to take action yet. And so it's like that. Well, it isn't like it is. That is the new dream that wants to be birthed. Like healthy relationships, like loving relationships, reciprocal relationships. And so the three unicorn tarot cards all came up reversed, so I'm going to flip them over to all be upright. The next question was, what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? So you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of, like, I feel like Nine of Cups is like the dream coming true, right? So we have this Ten of Cups, which is the dream, but the Nine of Cups is like getting closer. Like this dream is about to come true. She's well on her way, you know, to being at that happily ever after, whatever that looks like for her. And so the three cards that came up were Two of Pentacles, which is a card of balancing, you know, balancing energy, kind of reevaluating, thinking about things. Judgment, which is a card of second chances, resurrection, and then Nine of Wands, which is the card that we started the reading with, right? Like this energy of doing too much and ending up with a wound, doing too much and ending up burnt out. And so to me, like the way that this is coming up, and I don't know if excuse me, I don't know if the existing dream that you have is about love, and that the new dream coming in is also about, like, I feel like they're just tied together, right? That, like, to me it feels like you know, you really, maybe you were in a relationship that you thought was going to be your happily ever after, and some things happened where you really got hurt, right? Like, you put your heart out there, and you just loved the way that you love, and you got hurt. And so there's this part of you that is really, like, uncertain whether or not to try again, right? Like, do I try again, or do I stay single? Like, I don't know if I'm ready to try again. And I kind of want a second chance, but I also don't want to get hurt. And so, like, the second chance, it could be the same person, like wanting to be in a relationship again with the same person. But I feel like, you know, the second chance could just be like trying to love again, right? Like opening yourself up to love again, like opening up to this kind of belief in that happily ever after, that it really could be out there. You know, and I feel like you're getting signs that, like, that it is time to try again. Signs outside of this reading. Like, I feel like you're getting kind of additional, like, messages that, like, you know, you've healed from this wound. You've had enough time alone, you know, like the possibility of this happily ever after. You know, this King of Cups, because the King of Cups energy is very, it's not necessarily an old energy. I don't want to say it's a mature energy, as far as, like, it doesn't have to do with age. It's a mature energy in that it understands, like, it understands that we all have experiences that can cause, like, hurt and heartache. We all deal with kind of indecision and kind of a struggle to take action in relationships. And it also has this energy of, like, you know, when the time is right, it'll happen, right? Like, there's not, like, if you're familiar with, like, the Bible and resurrection, it's not like it's not on, like, a calendar, right? It's not like, I don't know, it's not like the 24th of May in 2045. You know, like, this happens in its own time. And so, like, this King of Cups energy is just very it's very secure in itself. It's very loving, without self-sacrificing. It has, like, a knowingness. This isn't going to make sense. Like, it has a heart knowing, right? Where we can know stuff in our brains all day long, and, like, it can be logical, but then it's different for, like, the mind and the heart to come together for us to know. It's almost like intuition, right? When something happens where this person kind of lashes out because of this stuff that's happened before, like, King of Cups energy is very, like, intuitively able to know that, like, I didn't do that, you know, like, that's not, are you triggered by something that happened? Probably yes. Is it my responsibility to, like, fix this or take the brunt of that? No, but I can be with you and be gentle while I let you know that, like, I did not do this to you. And I'm sorry that this was done to you, but also you can't take this out on me. So I feel like you have this dream of love. And I feel like it's, you know, with this King of Cups, like, I feel like it's very, it's very positive. Like, it's a good dream to have. And that, especially with that King of Cups upright after that Eight of Swords or Eight of Wands reverse, like once you're open to it, he or she or they will show up for you. So what dream wants to be birthed? Okay, got two. And what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? Anybody? Okay. Okay, what new dream wants to be birthed? So we got two cards. True manifesting is about receiving what is for the highest good of all, which I feel like is definitely big. Big King of Cups energy. And to begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction. So, where is it? I feel like this, very much like her kind of moving out of the way. And even with this Hermit as well, right? They're both kind of moving in the same direction to allow the universe to bring in this King of Cups. Okay. So, what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? I radiate confidence. So I feel like this very much matches renewal. The message on the back is believe in yourself 100% and soon others will begin looking to you as a source of motivation. When you invest in positive emotions, it's normal for you to feel great about yourself. Self-assurance is the best way to increase your drive and ambition. So group 1, that was your very long reading. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that that you enjoyed this message of like nourishment, renewal, dream. Feel free to leave me a comment. And if you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe. And I'm really excited for you over the next 6 months, like how your life is going to change and how you're going to start to really advocate for yourself, because you are confident and you deserve all the good things. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 2. So if you chose this group, I will be using the Light Seers Tarot and the Desert Illuminations Tarot for your reading. So I'll also be pulling cards from each of these decks for your reading. So the first part of the reading is about nourishment. So I'm going to pull some cards for what in you needs to be nourished. So let's see. Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh, some good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. And how are you depleted? Okay. So got 3 cards for what needs to be nourished in your life. So we've got Strength, Hierophant, and 5 of Wands reversed. So what the energy of these feels very opposite. Not opposite. I feel like that's not a good word. I feel like you have to be strong for everyone all the time. This is your outward appearance, but like in reality, you really just want to be able to focus on like growing, developing, like enjoying your life, right? Like you don't want to have to carry all this stuff for everybody, but you do. One, because you know you're strong enough, but two, because a lot of people in your life are portraying themselves like as this kind of like, to me, it feels like a wounded lamb, right? That like they need protection, they need nurturing because like they're wounded and they can't do it themselves, and you can do it and you're so good at it. And like, but I don't know how, right? And so it's like, okay, so you've kind of bought into this idea that like, okay, I have to do it because they can't do it. I have to do it because nobody else knows how, which is not true. The part of you that wants to just really like enjoy things, right? Like that wants to like laugh and relax and have fun, that wants to live like a full expression of the human experience. Like this part of you really needs to be nurtured as well. And I feel like with this Five of Wands coming up reversed, like Five of Wands is kind of, it's conflict, it's drama. Like in the traditional card, it's kind of play fighting. And we can see like with these roosters, like, yes, they're kind of fighting, but nobody's really injured, right? Like, I mean, one's kicking the other, but they have like this kind of, not a talon, but it's like a spur or something like that. And you can kind of see it in the picture, that they use when they're actually fighting, but nobody's really using this. And so like the energy that, the thing that's coming up is, when you try to shift away from this and into this, there's a whole big like kerfuffle about you doing that. Like there's this big like, well, but you can't, and you have to, and it's not necessarily like, it's protest. It's protest that you're not doing the things that you know that you don't even need to be doing, that other people can do for themselves, right? So it's like this, I feel like this part of you, because to me, she even, yes, she looks strong, but to me, like she looks tired, right? Like she's kind of resting her arm on top of her head, like she's like, okay, and her arm is kind of off of this lamb, like just kind of starting to detach from this caregiver role, that to me, it feels like you never really should have taken this on in the first place. Like maybe you did it out of the kindness of your heart. Maybe you got peer pressured into it because you're the only one in the family that could, or you're the only one in the office that is good at this, or you're the only one that knows how. And so, you know, really understanding that this part of you, this like joyful, exuberant part, needs nourishing, and that this is going to come up in response, which is, you don't need to do anything about it, in my opinion. Like this is other people's shit. Like that's great that, you know, that's great that you're upset that I'm not doing what you want me to do because it benefits you, but like I choose me, and you can have your drama somewhere somewhere else. The message that, or the cards that came up around the question of how are you depleted, is this Three of Swords reversed. And so upright, the Three of Swords is heartache. But I think even in the reverse, it's heartache and disappointment. But to me, this is very much from the past. And so I don't know if these are people from the past, if these are people that you've had really long-standing relationships with, but this energy feels very like tied together to me. That, you know, like these people that are taking things from you are the reason why you're feeling depleted, you know, in your, really in your heart. And Swords cards are associated with the mind, but this is very much like, it's very, emotional. It might even be visceral, right? Because that, you know, like being the strong one takes a lot of energy. Just like when we have the chance to like have a really good belly laugh, like that changes the way our bodies feel as well. So the other card that came up for how are you depleted is this Magician card. And so what I feel like all four of these cards are tied together, right? That like really the story is that like you've always had to be the strong one, and this strong person needs nourishment, because all these people are taking all the time, and part of that nourishment is finding your joy, enjoying life, experiencing things. And because you haven't had a chance to nourish that joyful part of you, like there's a lot of pain. And that, this card I feel like is coming to remind you that like you can create your own experience, that like this doesn't have to rule your decision making anymore. Like you get to decide like what you want to do, because when we look at it, like what's more powerful, right? Like this this kind of like medicine man, sun god, or like these two roosters. Like, come on. We don't have time for this bullshit. We don't have time for it. It's nonsense. We don't have time for it. So I feel like that's the message for, what parts of you need to be nourished, and then how are you depleted. So I'm going to pull a card from the Power of Surrender Oracle to just find out like what needs to be released so that you can focus on that nourishment. Oh, all right. I got 3. I'll take them. Okay. Yes. Yes to all of it. Okay. First one we got is surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. So I feel like listening to the wisdom of your body. Like I said, she looks tired. She's exhausted from this nonsense. But also, this is part of you too. And this part, if you listen to it, will, encourage you to move forward. Like the things in your life, the people in your life that bring this, it's a yes, absolutely. The next card that came up was surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. And so for me, that's these two. Definitely. Hierophant is very tapped into that wisdom, and the Magician he's a master manifester, so you can't manifest without being tapped into like your intuition, your knowing, the universe, spirit, God, source, all the things. And the last surrender card that came up, it came up in reverse. So to me, like this is it's a very loud message, and also the coloring of it, I feel like it you'll get it. So surrender resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. And I feel like that very much matches with this 3 of Swords, right? That like these people making all this drama, doing all this squawking, have really depleted your heart. I feel like they got on your last nerve. I feel like you are done with them, and they're rightfully so. There's some resentment, right? And so like you're being invited to let go of that. Like you're gonna focus on your body, you're gonna focus on caring for yourself, you're gonna nurture that strong part of you, and you can release all that shit from this. you can let it go out of your heart. Yeah. So that was the nourishment portion. Nope, that wasn't the nourishment portion. There's still more. I'm going to pull oracle cards from the Wild Offering Oracle about how are you depleted. So we'll get some wisdom around dealing with depletion. I'm going to put that over there. That's the little author artist card. Okay, how are you depleted? Wisdom for how to move past this depletion. Okay. So we pulled the trust card. When love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. What is this card? So I feel like as you nurture that inner wisdom, that inner joy, like this path just appears behind him. So just trusting in the universe, trusting in the divine that, you know, those things, that guidance is going to come up for you. Okay. So now let's, these cards are slippery. Let's pull some cards for the renewal part of the reading. Okay, so what part or parts of you want or need to be renewed? Like that's somebody jumped. I don't know who it was, so I'll take both those. Okay. What part or parts of you want or need to be renewed? Okay. Let's see what we've got. Okay, you got a lot of major arcana that came up in this reading. So what part or parts of you want to be renewed? So what I'm seeing is we've got the Eight of Swords reversed. We've got the Nine of Cups. And then we've got the Ace of Cups. And so to me, what this feels like is that there's a part of you that is ready to open up again. This might be love. This might be like an existing relationship that you're ready to give someone like a second chance, because you see things more clearly. Like when the Eight of Swords is upright, the focus is really on this kind of chaos. But in the reverse, we see this woman who's looking up and away from this. Like she knows this is not the truth. So the parts of you that are ready to be renewed are the part of you that sees things clearly and understands that what happened in the past in love and relationships was not, it wasn't just you. And it wasn't whatever you were blaming yourself for, with love in the past, like that wasn't accurate, if that makes sense. So I think that you took a lot more of the burden for why things ended or why there was a rift or whatever happened. You took a lot more responsibility or burden for it than you should have. And now you're seeing that like it actually wasn't what you thought it was, that you were really like punishing, and maybe even you had other people around you kind of squawking, like we had the roosters, really like in your ear, right? Like birds in your ear just telling you shit that was not true. And so over the course of time, like you've come out on the other side of it and you see the truth about it. And because you understand that like it wasn't you didn't do anything wrong, like you're coming to this place of understanding that like, oh, I am lovable, and like, oh, like I can have healthy relationships, like, because I really feel like whoever this thing was, this altercation that you had, this disagreement, whatever it was, like they really like, they did a number on your brain, right? Like they really made you think that like you were this horrible person, you know, that you just were like, it's a very heavy manipulation, and it's almost from like all sides. So it's like, I don't know if they had other people talking shit to you, or if like when they were talking shit to you, it was about everything, that like you're a terrible partner and like you can't cook and you suck at your job. Like it's just like real shitty, like real, like they just, I feel like they did your mind dirty. And so that this part of you that it has this inherently like beautiful, loving heart, this part of you that really wants to have fulfillment in relationships and in connections, like this is the part of you that wants to be renewed. We've got this Four of Wands in reverse with the Hangman. And so to me, like these the Four of Wands upright it's usually a marriage card. Like it's a very stable commitment card, right? That like the Four Wands, almost like four legs on a table. It's very balanced. But I think with the reversal and also with the Hangman, this Eight of Swords energy really kind of, it put you in a place where you were not comfortable opening your heart, and also it kind of made you believe that like there's no point, like there's no healthy people out there, like I'm not going to have a healthy relationship. So it's like the Hangman is like, I'm not ready to take action, you know, but then also like this wounded part of you is like, why though? Right? Like, why even try? Because, you know, this horrible thing happened and I thought I was in a good relationship, and like, it was really bad. Like now I see that it was really bad. But I feel like with this, you know, Hanged Man and the Ace of Cups, like take as long of a pause as you need to kind of like nurture your heart, like to replenish your heart, right? To renew your heart, because this is the renewal portion. And also allow the parts of your heart that want to, you know, that want to love again, that want to believe in healthy partnership, you know, because you absolutely deserve that. And I think because you're seeing things clearly, because you're seeing that this was put into your mind by someone else, this is not the reality of it, then it's like, why can't you have this? Like, why can't your desire for partnership meet up with stable partnership? Why can't it? It can. So the part of you that wants to be in like loving relationships, and that doesn't have to be romantic. It can be healthy friendships, which I feel like, you know, people agree are very, you know, very valuable. Like healthy family relationships, like maybe you don't have an amazing relationship with your parents, but maybe you have like a really great, you know, aunt or uncle, or even like if you're married, like your in-laws are really amazing people. Like, you know, being open to that kind of potentially like loving relationship, right? There's all different kinds of relationships, but I feel like you're with the clarity. Oh, hello. Okay. With the clarity that's come up, for you to see the truth of a past situation, you know, you're ready. You're ready to open your beautiful cosmic heart star energy. So, I was gonna say I pulled 2 cards from the Soul's Journey Oracle, but I didn't. They jumped out. So they presented themselves. So I'm gonna pull a card or 2 from the Power of Love deck. So okay, I'll take those 3. I'll take them. Okay, so the cards that came from the Soul's Journey deck were Courage and Judgment. So Courage says, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And Judgment, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Okay, and then from the Love deck, 3 cards came out. So the first card is Friendliness. You are able to recognize traits in common with another in order to forge love-based connections. Like I said, love doesn't have to be romantic. The next one was Trust. You have a strong connection to your soul's loving voice and have faith in your intuition. I feel like that is very much Hanged Man energy, like that intuition. And then also like this desire for love. And then the last one is Release. You have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. Yeah. So I feel like the Hanged Man can very much be a card of release, of surrendering and letting go. But I think also we have this cup, right? And so the way that she's holding the cup, she's not grasping it as much as she's kind of balancing it between her palms, but she could very easily be like turning that cup over to release that energy. So yeah, those are the cards I pulled for you for the renewal portion. And next, we'll pull cards for the dream portion. Let's see if I can shuffle these. I got small hands and they're big cards. Okay, so what new dream? Whoa, chaos. Chaos. What new dream wants to be birthed? And what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? I feel like they've been jumping. I don't remember if it was this deck or if it was the last reading. They've been little jumping beans. Okay, what new dream wants to be birthed, and what existing dream needs to be fertilized? What existing dream needs to be fertilized or watered? Okay. So, what new dream is happening? Very interesting. Okay. What new dream wants to be birthed? Nine of Cups. We also got Six of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like this card is about reciprocity, right? Like whether it's upright or reversed, it doesn't really matter, because like the hands are both, it looks like maybe the bottom hand is receiving and the top hand is giving. It could be the other way around, and it's very much the same energy here, right? So what new dream wants to be birthed? You're ready for fair and equal partnership. And then the Ten of Pentacles came up in reverse. I feel like, so this is the upright version. We've got two aliens and like this magical kind of alien stuff. Ten of Pentacles and Ten of Cups are very much like happily ever after cards. So, excuse me, I feel like because, like this card came in upright, you're ready for that loving partnership. You're ready. Your heart is ready. You're ready for your happily ever after. With these two coming up reversed, I feel like there's apprehension that you'll find something fair and balanced and even, which I feel like balance in relationship is not like mathematical, right? Like fairness and balance and evenness within a relationship looks different for every relationship. For some people it's monetary. Some people it's like chores, like who does what. For other people it might be that I am an introvert and you're an extrovert, and you kind of help me get out in the world and do things that I wouldn't normally do by myself, but you also understand that like I need time by myself for a while after we get done doing those things. Or, it can be, to kind of follow that same example, that like understanding that like I'm not an introvert and you are, if I had a partner, you are an extrovert, and that you're okay with doing things by yourself because I don't always have the energy to be around people, or the willingness to stay home and be an introvert too. So balance and fairness and reciprocity is different. It looks different for everyone. And then with this reversal of the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like it's still that apprehension that like, I do want loving partnership, but is this even possible? Like, is it even possible for me to have a happily ever after? Is it possible for me to find my like alien partner, BFF, like that really kind of deep connection where like we like can feel like we're like the same and like we're on the same wavelength and we get along the same. Like, is this even possible? And so for this dream part, it's like you're ready, but you're still, you're still a little bit unsure. And then what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? So both of these came up in reverse, so I'm going to flip them upright. So the card that came up for what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized was this Hermit. And so typically the Hermit is about kind of going inward and taking things like step by step. But I feel like in this situation, like you're not wanting to be alone. I think you're wanting to be seen for the specialness that you are. Like that's this existing dream that is wanting to be fertilized, like to be seen, known, and valued, loved, adored for like who you are in this world, which I feel like is such a beautiful dream. The other two cards that came up were the Nine of Pentacles and the Tower. And so Tower is very much about like wanting change, right? And then this Nine of Pentacles is this independence. And so this, this Hermit with the Nine of Pentacles is, wanting to be, sorry, my cat's being a cat. Please don't chew on my things, girl. This Nine of Pentacles plus the Hermit is wanting to be self-sufficient, like wanting to be strong and independent on our own, but not wanting to be like solitary, right? Like not wanting to be like on a deserted island by yourself. And this tower that's coming, or this tower card is, you know, wanting to shake that up, right? Like wanting to bring whatever changes need to happen so that you can move out of this space of waiting for someone to see you and having to be independent all the time, wanting that to shift and change so that this can come in, so that someone who values fairness, balance, equity, who is also your people, wants to come in and fill up all your cups. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so sweet. Okay. So now I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards from the Super Attractor deck. I might pull more. We'll see. We'll see who jumps out. So we've got one for what new dream wants to be birthed. And then let's pull one for what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized. Hello. Okay. And then we'll pull some of these affirmation cards too. So what new dream wants to be birthed? Okay. And what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. So, what new dream wants to be birthed? Instead of worrying about the future, I know all is well when I'm aligned in the moment. So that is your guidance around this, around pulling in this new love, this fair and balanced love. That, you know, instead of worrying about is this even possible? Instead of worrying about if this will come in the future, like knowing that when you align with what is in your heart, your little bright shiny heart, that it's going to show up. And the other card that came up was I practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is freeing. By forgiving yourself and others, you allow yourself to move forward with confidence and peace. Open up to all the love and joy you deserve by letting go of what no longer serves you. Yes. So letting go of that fear, you know, of whether it can show up for you. And then, what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? This is the Super Attractor card that I pulled. When I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. Yeah. Okay. And you can introduce that joy through your heart. And then the affirmations card that I pulled was, I am a source of creativity. Inspiring others is effortless when you tap into your own gifts. You possess an unlimited network of creative energy and the ability to create new ideas and solutions. Allow those thoughts that enter your mind to flow freely, becoming tangible objects or goals. It's got a lot of free-flowing energy here. Wasn't there another... I'm missing a card. I thought we had the Hanged Man, but I think that was in the other cards. And that's okay. We got this little rainbow theme going on here. Allow those thoughts that enter your mind to flow freely, becoming tangible objects or goals. Love it. Okay, group 2, that was your reading. So I hope that you feel nourished and inspired to feel safe, allowing for your heart to open up, allowing for that dream of love to be. And so if you enjoyed if you enjoyed this reading, if you would like to like and subscribe, I would love that. Also, if you'd like to leave me a comment to let me know, how this resonated for you. But I wish you a beautiful solar eclipse on the 20th. And I'm excited for you as you kind of open up your heart to let love in, let those relationships in. So I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Tarot of the Divine and the Santa Muerte Tarot, this is your reading. So for this reading, we are going to pull cards as well as oracle cards from those 2 tarot decks. Sorry. My brain's mushy. It was a long week. I'm going to pull tarot and oracle cards for each segment of this reading. So the first part is nourishment, the next part is renewal, and the last part is dream. So let's get into it because the cards are already ready. Somebody jumped out. Okay, nourishment. What in you needs to be nourished? So we already got 1. And how are you depleted? So let's see what parts of you are depleted. Okay, what in you needs to be nourished? Pull some cards from this other deck. And how are you depleted? Let's see. Okay. All right. So, what in you needs to be nourished? Oh, yeah. So you got 2 major arcana and 1 suits card. So the first one that came up is the Queen of Cups. Next, got Sun in reverse and got the Emperor in reverse. So with all of these, what this tells me is that you are someone that is very heart focused, that you're very nurturing, very loving person, and that you have either been giving too much or you haven't been allowed to exist as who you are. And so the sun the sun shines, right? Duh. But the energy of the sun, the sun doesn't ask for permission, right? The sun isn't like, oh, I'm too bright, I'm so sorry, let me dim myself. No, the sun's like, well, grab some sunglasses, I don't know what to tell you, And so the Emperor is very much that same kind of energetic resonance, right? I'm just going to be the Emperor, and I don't apologize that I'm the person in power because I got myself here, right? It's not, neither of these cards ask for permission to exist. And I think because they came up reversed, but this Queen of Cups is what came out upright. To me, this is you're being stifled. Someone... you're too much. You're too loud. Why do you have to dress that way? Why do you always have to do, why can't you just be like everybody else? Why? Somebody's, maybe it's more than one person in your life is just being very in some ways it is critical, but I feel like it's very much they're trying to dim you, and they're trying to make you small. Like it feels like a pushing down energy, like almost the way, like I guess in my mind what it looks like is like the way you'd kind of push down a dog, which is like really kind of sad image, but like it's very controlling, like it's like a very controlling visual, you know, that like somebody is trying to like tamp you down for the purpose of controlling you. And I think because you have such like a kind, nurturing heart, and because this feels like they've done this for a while. So like this has become the norm where it's even like you believe that like, oh yeah, I guess I am too loud. And it's, you know, and maybe like, oh, maybe I don't have to dress like that. Or maybe like I can learn to be more quiet. But like, again, your true essence is these two energies, right? Like the Emperor doesn't apologize for being like too I was gonna say too leadery. That's not even a word. Again, mushy brain. Like the Emperor doesn't apologize for being a leader. Sorry, my cat. Hey, leave my things alone, girl. This girl. The Emperor doesn't apologize for being too much of a good leader. The sun doesn't apologize for like shining bright. Like the sun is not like, I'm so sorry you got a sunburn. I'll make sure I don't come out tomorrow. No, like maybe don't spend 7 hours at the beach with no sunscreen, you big dummy. So so this Queen of Cups card, like you're the bright, shiny, strong, amazing parts of you, like these things need to be nourished. And like if you're around people that are constantly telling you that you're too much, it's because you're too much for them. It's very subjective. Like this, you're not too much for everybody, you're too much for them. And so because it only affects them, that would make it their problem. It is not your problem. Right? It's almost like if somebody was to come to you and be like, "Oh, you're too loving. You're too loving. Please stop. Please, you're too kind." Which I feel like people do say that. But like you're too loving. You're too beautiful, and your heart's too pure. You need to gunk it up. Like no, nobody says that because it's fucking dumb. So that's what in you needs to be nourished. So these next cards are for what in you is depleted. So the first card that came up is the Nine of Swords. So we see this person here, and I feel like that's very much you, right? And we've got these other people, you know, like they're looking up, but I feel like you have to, it's all on you, right? Just like with these two cards, you're too much, you're too this, you're too that. It's all on you. Like the part of you that has to carry this, like it's really like the mental part of you, right? The mental part of you is what's carrying this. Like that part is depleted. Like you're exhausted because that's always kind of like, it's always there. Like it's always kind of floating around above you. And so the other two cards that came up were the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And so upright, you know, Five of Pentacles is very much a card of lack. But we see like, it's really like all these skulls here, like all this, to me, it's like death and decimation. You know, we have the green skulls or the pentacles for this card. And then also the Santa Muerte card came out, this is the death card in this deck. And the death card is about change. And so we see this death card that's pregnant, you know, this Saint of Death that's pregnant because something new needs to be born, right? Like you can't continue to live with this criticism hanging over your head. You can't operate in a world where like you're not enough. You're constantly being told that you're not enough, because the criticism about this really equates trying to make you feel like you're not enough. And so like in order to be enough, like you have to sacrifice things, right? You have to change who you are to make these people happy. And this Saint of Death, you know, these are both very feminine, matronly, which I feel like matron, like traditionally is associated with an older woman, which is not what I mean. Like to me, matronly energy is motherly energy, like very secure, grounded, like deep, loving mother energy, like the Oracle in the Matrix. I feel like she's got a very matronly love energy where it's like, she knows he's gonna break that vase and it's not a problem. It's okay, right? You know, and she made him cookies and like have a cookie and everything's okay. So all this, like this, what am I looking for? This is depleting you because you have to make a change to return to the essence of who you are. You have to allow like that criticism that is always like hanging over you. You have to allow it to fall away. You have to allow it to die, energetically, metaphorically. And so that I feel like that means you have to let go of some people, which I understand is hard. And you might be ready, like especially with her being so pregnant, you might be at the point where you're like, I'm about to cut these people off. You know, any day now, I am about to grab one of these swords out of the sky and just cut the cord because I can't. I'm over it. Over it. Okay. So let me pull one of these Power of Surrender cards. Find out what do you need to surrender so that you can be nourished, and then what do you need to surrender so you can stop being depleted. Okay. So what do you need to surrender so that you can be nourished? And so this card that came up is surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. So like I said, I think that you are about ready to cut those people off, to let go. And maybe you're just not sure. And so I feel like this is confirmation that like, yeah, you're ready. If you weren't sure if you were ready, you're ready. You don't have to pause. You don't have to wait anymore. The next card that came up for what do you need to surrender to kind of recover from that depletion is surrender comparisons with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. So I feel like that very much matches with these, especially these two, right? Where it's like, you're too much, you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that. It doesn't matter. I don't need to focus on how you compare me to other people. I'm just going to focus on my big ass loving heart and how I be and how I show up. And how everybody else is not my business. Okay, so then now I'm going to pull from the Wild Offering Oracle for what in you needs to be nourished. And how are you depleted? Okay. So what in you needs to be nourished? The card that came up is creative blocks. If you are an artist of any kind, you can offer all work to the divine, making it God's alone. I offer this for the highest good to benefit the planet. Release me from the blocks and restriction, or release me from any blocks and restrictions. May this serve all who need. So I feel like Queen of Cups is a very creative energy. I mean, she's the mother energy, right? And even this Death card, it's creation, right? These two These two energies are very much about creating and creation. And even if you're not someone that identifies as a parent, you're not someone that wants to have kids, like that creativity takes many forms. So the Wild Offering oracle for how are you depleted is hardship. May I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. So I feel like that's really perfectly timed. That it is hard to have people criticize us, right? It is very hard to have people tell us that, like, we're too much, we're too this, we're too that. It's very hard to be in that energy of, like, not feeling like you're enough. So that was the nourishment part of the reading. So now let me pull some cards for the renewal part. Whoa, whoa. Okay. I don't know if you could see that. That was a shuffle fail. Okay. Much better. Okay. What parts of you want or need to be renewed? Okay. What parts of you want or need to be renewed? Okay, what parts of you want to be renewed? Got the 9 of Cups reversed. So that part of you, you can see this really sweet, giddy connection. So the parts of you that, like, the part of you that wants that love, the part of you that is ready to move closer to this kind of love. I feel like you're not ready right now, and that's okay. But the part of you that is open to it wants to be renewed. And so I also pulled the World card. So it really feels like the World card is about endings. You're ready to end that cycle that's not ready yet for love. And that the part of you that wants to be renewed is this part that really, like, you want that love relationship wish to be fulfilled, you know, whether it's a really positive relationship with friends or family, or romance, you know, or even with yourself, right? That, like, we can kind of struggle to love ourselves, and, like, we can go through some things, we can go through some hardships that show us that, like, okay, it's time for me to really focus on loving myself, and, you know, and wanting to, like, being ready to move in that direction towards building that for yourself. So, what parts of you need to be renewed? So we got the 3 of Cups in reverse. And so to me, like, the 3 of Cups is very much about friendship, but I feel like in the reverse, like, the part of you that's kind of gotten pulled into gossip, like toxic interactions in friendships, or even, like, hanging out with people that you know are not good for you, right? So, like, let's say you really been considering becoming like you're prioritizing your sobriety, right? Like just for your own reasons, like you want to drink less, but you hang out with people that like to get wasted every single weekend. So like the part of you that needs to be renewed is the part that that wants those positive things for yourself, you know. So like you're gonna have to review those friendships or those connections or even those relationships. And then the Seven of Wands is the other card that came up. So the part of you that needs to be renewed is the part that has really been kind of in the battle, right? So it almost feels like the part of you that needs to be renewed is the part that has, or really just you, like you've been engaging in some like not great habits with some not great people, and like this card is saying like, okay, we're tapped out with that, like all this nonsense, like it has to end, like no more of that. We have to go back to that really, you know, kind of healthy, intentional, loving self-care or like healthy relationships with other people. Like we can't do this toxic stuff anymore. Like we just can't. So I'm going to pull some cards from the Soul's Journey deck for each of these. So what parts of you want to be renewed? Okay. And what parts need to be renewed? Okay. And then I'm going to pull cards from this Power of Love. What part wants to be renewed? And what part needs to be renewed? Okay. Okay. So for the part of you that wants to be renewed, we got from the Soul's Journey, right? Yes. Pulled the Patience card. I accept that everything happens in divine order. And then the Power of Love, trust. You have a strong connection to your soul's loving voice, and you have faith in your intuition. So patience and trust. And I think especially with like this Seven of Wands coming up for what needs to change, like you can't be in survival mode anymore. And so like making those changes, like that requires a lot of patience, you know, so like being gentle with yourself and, you know, trusting that, that, you know, like not all relationships are like this. So the cards I pulled for what needs to be renewed are purpose and commitment. So the purpose card is from the Soul's Journey, and that is, I know what I am here to do. And the commitment card is from the Power of Love deck. You dedicate yourself to your beliefs wholeheartedly, knowing that love is the essence of your very being. Okay. That was lovely. Okay, and now we will move on to the dream portion. Okay. So what new dream wants to be birthed? Okay, I think that one needs 3. Okay, and then what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? Okay. This is funny. I don't know why that's funny to me. Okay. I keep bumping into that. What new dream wants to be birthed, and what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized? Oh, that's way too many. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay. So, what new dream wants to be birthed? Okay. 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 What new dream wants to be birthed? We got 6 of Wands, 6 of Swords, and 5 of Wands. So what I'm getting from this is that, you know, the new dream that you want to be birthed is you want to receive everything that you've been working hard for. You want the success that you deserve in any aspect of your life. I feel like for some reason for me, like this feels very much like work, but I feel like it doesn't have to be. I think that's how we're like, socially conditioned, is that like you're only successful in work. Like you can be successful in love. You could be successful in friendships. You could be successful in an exercise routine, right? So you're ready for success to come into your life, which is really just like you're ready for good things to come in. And, we had this 6 of Swords followed by this 5 of Wands in reversed. Upright, it's kind of this like fighting, but it's kind of, you can see like some of these people are like smiling, so it's play fighting, but really it's drama. And so in order to get the success that you want in life, you're willing to walk away from all the things that make drama. Which I feel like that was very much like that last part, right? The renewal part, like you're closing out, like the World card, you're closing out that chapter where it's like, I want this and less of this. So I'm just going to go. I'm going to go. See you guys later. So the other cards that came up, once again, our little buddy, the 7 of Wands. This is taxing. This is so taxing, because even if you're not actually getting hit with any kind of force by these wands, like just this kind of fighting and grappling and like just the energy of like conflict, like it can be very, very draining for a lot of people, and you're exhausted from it, and you're just tired of it. And so this page of Swords card coming in is, pages are messengers, pages can also be like mediums, like psychics. They have a gift, like a very strong intuitive gift that helps them craft the message. And so something is going to come in that's going to nudge you, to let you know, like you're going to get a message to let you know, okay, the ship's ready, hop in. That like you're gonna get a message that it's almost like getting, in my mind, it's like a port call. Like I think they do it with like cruise ships, where it's like you have a port call time where it's like you have to show up and this is what time you get on the boat because the boat's leaving. And so this boat that you're gonna get a message, this is metaphorical, but maybe like you're getting on a real boat for real. I don't know, that's cool. Hey, good for you. When you get this port call message, this boat is going to take you to this. It's like a direct route, right? So there's going to be, as soon as you're ready to release this drama, you're going to get that notification, or you're going to get something that's going to put you on the right path to go, that's going to take you to the success that you deserve. Which I love. I love that. So that's the new dream that wants to be birthed. What existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized. So we've got, okay. So the first card that came up was the Three of Wands, which is, usually this is a card of like delegation, maybe management, like watching, but I feel like this is very active, right? So she's like, I'm ready to go for it. So, sorry. Like, in looking at this, I'm ready to go for it, and I'm ready to move really fast. So to me, it's almost, this is the reason why I was like stopping to think. It's almost like this is your vision, and then you get a message, you run, you start moving, and then you run really fast to get to the ship, because the Eight of Wands is a very quick moving. These are wands, both wands cards, and wands are very quick moving. The Eight of Wands is super fast, like fast as fuck, boy. And so you're going to get on this ship to be taken to, the success that you've earned, but also the dream that needs to be watered or fertilized is the Empress and then the Queen of Cups reversed. And so to me, like this Queen of Cups came up in the beginning. This was what needed to be nourished, right? So for her to come up again as something that needs to be watered or fertilized, cups is water, right? And so Queen of Cups and the Empress are very, very similar energy, just like that Death card that we pulled from the Santa Muerte deck. This is very motherly. This is abundance, creation. So for this to come up in reverse, to me, like the thing that needs to be watered or fertilized, like what it feels like to me is like it's like a transition almost. Like you're ready to go from this kind of depleted version of who you were, because it's all this drama, all this chaos. You're ready to evolve into like this higher form of of yourself, right? That we had this, like you are the Queen of Cups, but all these things have like depleted your energy, kind of put you in this like imbalanced state. And so you're ready to almost like let go of who you were, allow the person that you were who operated the way that you did to like die away, so that this new higher version of yourself can be born. And I say that because this Ace of Pentacles came through. So like, for the dream that needs to be watered, aces are new beginnings. So this is like, and aces, pentacles are very tangible, right? So this is, to me, what this feels like is, it's a glow up, right? So going from this really depleted kind of version of yourself, having this big change energy come in, and then glowing up to this like elevated version of who you are, who you're meant to be. And I think, like that very much like matches with this success, because, you can't be, I mean, you can, but like for you to live your full expression of like the successful person that you want to be, to really embody the vision of success, like who you are has to evolve and change. And I feel like this is very much what you want, right? These two cards are facing the same direction. They're moving in the same direction. So I feel like this is very much like, I think you had a vision for like how you wanted, like you had a vision for who you wanted to be. Like one day I'm going to be this person. Like one day I'm going to live this kind of expression. One day. And then I think the new dream that's coming up is like, no, I want to, like, I want to go there. I want to get there. Like, I want to take the steps to become this person, right? And this can be many different things. Like, it might literally be that you want to be a parent. So like, I'm going to take the steps to have a child, to adopt, to, you know, whatever form that takes for you. Or like, I want to have my dream career, or I want to look a certain way. You know, like this Ace of Pentacles is that tangible action energy that's going to come in to get you to this success. So now I'm going to pull some of these super attractor cards for what new dream wants to be birthed. Is that two? Okay. And what existing dream needs to be fertilized? Okay. And I'm going to pull some affirmation cards for what new dream wants to be birthed. And what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized. I like that one. Okay, what new dream wants to be birthed? I feel like a lot of times these oracle cards match up with the tarot, so I'm trying to find the ones that match up with this. Okay, spiritual alignment puts my manifestation into motion. So spiritual alignment. So when you are in a place where you can hear that message and get your ass moving to the port, then you're on your path to success. Okay, the other one that came up for what new dream wants to be birthed is believing in spiritual guidance gives me certainty and freedom to keep dreaming even when I can't yet see the result. Oh, that one's good. Really like that. Especially with this little guy. Because he's this Ace of Pentacles. He's kind of hidden, right? Like, it's kind of a zoomed in version, but like, where are you? Are you in a bush? Like, who buried you? Like, I can't see you, but I know it's coming. And then the affirmation card that I pulled was, I am a masterpiece. You are a one-of-a-kind work of art. Everything about you is intentional. Accept your uniqueness and put it on display for the world to see. Yep. Okay. And then the oracle cards that I pulled for what existing dream needs to be watered or fertilized. I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. So that is flipping this one upright. When I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. So I feel like that's very much matching that alignment message. Like, I got to get in alignment, and then I just got to wait for this message to come through. And then I'll know it's time to run to the port. And the affirmation card I pulled for what existing dream needs to be watered and fertilized is, I make a positive impact. I have the power to positively change someone's day, week, or life with a small gesture. Be mindful in your interactions with others and spread love and light. You are a beacon of happiness that illuminates the path of those around you and around you, near and far. I feel like that's these two. You know, with that bright shining light in the background. Yeah. So group 3, that was your reading for this upcoming solar eclipse, or really just if you're, if you're kind of having a hard time and you need some nourishment, you want some renewal with this new spring season. And then also, if you want to focus on what your dream is as we're coming into this kind of time of change. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you, so feel free to leave me a comment about which part of the reading resonated for you, which part you're really looking forward to, and I'm very excited for you about your dream that's, that you're working towards, like this big success. Yeah, I think that's exciting. They're going to get on a boat, literally or metaphorically. If you have a cruise coming up, please let me know. I'm excited for you. That would be like a literal kind of manifestation of that card. So that would be really funny. But yes, I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I hope that there's lots of good things that are coming for you over the course of the next 6 months after this eclipse. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.